Welcome back to Success International Training Institute. This is a place for learning and change. We thank you for coming back. If you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe to our channel, like, share, and leave us a comment. If you're not new to our channel, if you're already a part of the family, welcome back. We're so happy to have you. Make sure you spread the word around so that we are making changes that we all would envision for ourselves. So what are we talking about today? Today we're looking at the value of money, because you and I know that money really does not make anybody happy. No matter what you say, money doesn't make you happy. It is the value that you attach to money that brings you happiness, that brings you contentment, that brings you joy. So let us think about how we actually can attach value to money so that we can enjoy the freedom of living the life that we so desire. Here are some questions that you have to answer in order for you to know or to be able to assess what money is worth to you. And depending on your answer, you know the amount of work you need to put in. So let's look at a few questions that I want you to answer today. First question: how much money do you actually want? Now, we all have desires. Some of us want to be rich. Some of us just want to be able to put food on the table. Some of us want to be able to help our families and friends and have a little extra. You have to know what it is you want. How much do you want? Because that is going to cause your desire to move along that same path. That is going to encourage you into certain actions. You're going to be able to take certain decisions because you know how much of this commodity that you call money that you need or that you desire to have. Don't forget that as we grow older, our desires change. So you have to incorporate those considerations. You may have a desire just to be very rich when you're young. That sounds appealing. Remember, your desires or your needs change as you get older, as you become more mature. As you get up in age, you realize that some things are more important than others. But certainly, we all have to use money. So when you think about how much of it you want, you have to consider those needs that you have immediately and the ones that are pending in the future, like your medical needs to satisfy your friends and family, the desires they have, or to assist them in some way, to give back to your community, to give back to society. Those are some things you want to consider. How much of this commodity money will it take for you to accomplish those, for you to really enjoy yourself in the manner that you envision for yourself, that you desire? How much money will it take? You have to bear those things in mind. Your next question: how are you going to get it? You know how much money you want? How are you going to get it? If you need a job, then you're going to have to find one. If it's a new job, you probably need to get some new skills. You probably need to ensure that you are ramping up your effort to increase sales in your business, to drive the income or the revenue that you want to achieve. How are you going to get the money? You certainly cannot sit by and wish it into being. That doesn't happen. What you need to do is to determine how you're going to get the money. You have a thought in your head. How are you going to achieve that goal? What do you need to do in order to get the money that you desire? Where do you need to go? Do you need to stay in that same job that you are in? Do you need to be doing something different? Do you need to be adding on new things to your business? Do you need to actually set up other businesses? Certainly, you have to equate the amount of money you need to what you're willing to do in order to get it. You have to associate that, or you have to align that to an effort that you're willing to make in order to get it. What do you need to do? How far do you need to push yourself? Are you comfortable where you are? And if you're wanting to increase that money, you can't sit around and wish it into being. It's going to take action. It's going to take decisions. It's going to take you pushing away some things that weren't working or that had not worked for you in the past. And it's going to take you into deep waters, places you've never gone before. It's going to take you into a new thought process. You're going to have to be into a new network. You're going to have to shed some of those baggages that you've been taking along with you. So think about it. How are you going to get the money, right? And work towards that. The final question, what do you want the money for? What are you going to do with it when you've gotten it? Think about it. You desire a certain amount of money, but you don't know what you want to do with it. You have to have a plan. You have to have objectives. You have to be able to see the things that you want and then to move towards them. You must put things down on paper. Simply don't sit back and think about it. What do you want the money to do? Do you want to send your children to school, to buy a home, to buy a vehicle, to pay your bills, to ensure that when you get older, you can take care of your bills? You're going to have more medical expenses as you get older. That's a natural path of life. What do you want the money to do? You must be able to determine the action that it's going to take in order for you to fulfill them. And having thought of your path towards getting that money, you must decide how you're going to spend it. Now, we have been saying money does not make you happy. Certainly, we have all seen the many persons who we thought should be really happy because they have all the money in the world, more than we ever thought of, more than we can ever count ourselves. Yet you find some of them in some behaviors that you wonder what could cause them to do that. Because money can be destructive if you do not attach a value to it. Many persons find themselves in behaviors that they wouldn't dream of if they never had money. When you come in contact with that commodity that you so desire, or that we desire a whole lot of, what are you going to do with it? So, as I said to you, you must have a plan of your expenditure. You must determine what you're going to do with that money. And don't forget, the arm of giving is a sacred arm that brings you happiness. And you don't necessarily have to give money. You must give what the value of it is. Send some children to school. Determine that you're going to help a community to build a community center. Create wealth in your community, in your generation. So determining what you're going to do with it is where the value is going to come from. That's what's going to bring you happiness. Did you want to go on a trip? Would that make you happy? Would that relieve you of the stress? That's the value. Find the value in money. That is what is going to bring you happiness, not the physical money itself. That can be destructive. It will destroy your life. It will change you forever. What you do is to determine what value it is to you, and you work along that line. These are my few questions, and I know for sure once we have heard these, we're going to change the way we think about money and what we do with it. So remember, if you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe, like and share, and don't forget, press the notification button. As soon as a video comes out, you will hear about it immediately.